Wisconsin is often identified only as America's dairy and cheese center, but behind its wide farm fields and vast pine forests, the state holds one of the strangest collections of towns in the Midwest. There are towns that dedicate their streets to mythical creatures, settlements built from scrap metal remains, and places that have reported visitors from outer space for decades. In this video, let's break down 15 towns in Wisconsin with identities that are unique, strange, and sometimes almost absurd, yet still stand as part of America's sociological diversity today. If we drive west of Madison, we may find Mount Horeb. Here, the town's identity is not found in modern billboards, but in dozens of giant wooden statues known as trolls. This tradition began in the 1980s when a local gift shop, Open House, placed a troll statue in front of its store to attract visitors. Now, its main street is officially called the Trollway. These trolls are not just decorations, they represent the area's strong Scandinavian roots. You will find a troll holding ice cream, a troll playing the accordion, and even a troll relaxing with a book. Life in Mount Horeb goes on normally, but the presence of these wooden creatures watching over every corner of the street gives the town a real fairy tale atmosphere in the middle of modern Wisconsin. Moving on to Spring Green, home to one of the strangest architectural achievements ever built, House on the Rock. Built by Alex Jordan Jr. on top of an 18-meter sandstone column known as Deer Shelter Rock, this place began as a form of artistic protest. Its most striking feature is the Infinity Room, a glass corridor stretching out 66 meters with no visible support beneath it, creating the feeling of floating above the forest. But the real strangeness is inside. The rooms are dim, filled with giant mechanical musical instruments that can play on their own, along with the world's largest indoor carousel that no one is allowed to ride. Yes, Spring Green remains a place that sparks debate. Is it a work of art or just a towering pile of unsettling obsession? Meanwhile, in Monroe County, Sparta has a unique side rarely found on mainstream tourist maps. The town is home to FAST, or Fiberglass Animals, Shapes, and Trademarks, a company that produces the giant fiberglass statues often seen in front of restaurants or playgrounds across America. What makes it strange is the area behind the factory, often called the Fiberglass Graveyard. Here, you can find giant molds ranging from house-sized ice cream cones and Santas to all kinds of familiar shapes. The contrast between these cheerful objects and the town's surroundings creates a surreal image. Sparta is not only the bicycle city, as its nickname says, but also an open-air museum of forgotten pop culture artifacts. Leaving behind the rows of statues in Sparta, we move on to a coastal area that offers a view just as unbelievable and surreal. In Door County, specifically in Sister Bay, there is a sight that still causes first-time visitors to slam on their brakes in disbelief: goats grazing calmly on top of a roof. The Swedish restaurant Al Johnson's has been doing this since 1973. It all started with a birthday gift in the form of a goat named Oscar, who was accidentally placed on the roof and unexpectedly grew to love staying there. Today, the restaurant's sod-covered roof serves as a home for a herd of goats every summer season. Even though it may look like a joke at first glance, Sister Bay is actually a very well-organized town with a strong and stable economy. This tradition has evolved into a regulated standard, complete with specially designed ladders and routine animal health monitoring, proving that even something unusual can become the economic backbone of a town when it is managed with care and seriousness. Next is Fountain City, a town located along the steep cliffs of the Mississippi River. Here stands a unique attraction known as the Rock in the House. The story began on April 24th, 1995, when a massive 55-ton rock broke loose from the cliff behind the town and came crashing down, smashing through the back of a home owned by Maxine and Dwight Anderson. Remarkably, no one was injured in the incident. Here's where it gets even more unusual. Instead of destroying the rock after it had damaged their home, the homeowners made a decision that few people would consider. They chose to move out and turn the house into a museum. To this day, the rock remains exactly where it landed, lodged firmly inside one of the bedrooms. Life in Fountain City now unfolds under the shadow of these beautiful yet potentially dangerous cliffs, creating a unique relationship between the residents and the natural environment they live in. However, not all of Wisconsin's oddities are pleasant. Plainfield is a quiet, small town, but it carries a very heavy historical burden. In the 1950s, this town became the center of one of the most horrifying criminal investigations in American history, involving Ed Gein. Although his original house has long since burned to the ground, the cultural impact of this history remains enormous, inspiring characters in films like Psycho and The Silence of the Lambs. From the town's perspective, the residents of Plainfield tend to remain reserved about this past and prefer to highlight their agricultural sector instead. Yet, for historians and sociologists, Plainfield remains a primary subject of study, standing as an example of how a peaceful small town can hide secrets that eventually change how the world understands criminal psychology. Then, if you head southwest toward Shullsburg, make sure your vehicle is in good working condition. The reason is, you might want to try something known as Gravity Hill. Located on Judgment Street, this phenomenon is an incredibly convincing optical illusion. Imagine this: if you stop your car at a designated point and shift it into neutral, the car will appear to roll uphill instead of downhill. Scientifically, this happens because the layout of the horizon and the slope of the surrounding land trick the human eye into misjudging direction. Shullsburg itself is actually one of the oldest towns in Wisconsin, with a rich history rooted in lead mining. The presence of Gravity Hill adds a mysterious layer to a town whose architecture still strongly reflects the atmosphere of the 19th century. Moving on from strange gravity, let's look at how a town created its own monster. Yes, you heard that right. In the Northwoods region, Rhinelander is known not only for its logging industry, but also as the home of the Hodag. This creature was first discovered by Eugene Shepard in 1893 and was described as having the head of a bull, massive fangs, and sharp spikes running along its back. Although it was later revealed to be a hoax designed to attract media attention, the Hodag had already become a lasting cultural icon. Today, Rhinelander is a town that is quite literally dominated by the Hodag. A giant statue greets visitors in front of the Chamber of Commerce. Its face appears on buses, and even the local high school sports teams proudly use the name Hodags. Regardless of its origins, This stands as a remarkable example of how a fabricated urban legend can transform into a shared identity and, of course, a source of economic pride for a community. Next, there is Baraboo, a town that was once the busiest place in the world during every winter season. This city served as the original headquarters of the Ringling Brothers Circus. The uniqueness of Baraboo lies in how this circus history is deeply woven into the city's infrastructure. Many buildings in the downtown area were specifically constructed with enormous doorways to allow elephants and circus wagons to pass through. At the Circus World Museum, which is recognized as a National Historic Site, visitors can still see the largest collection of circus wagons in the world, along with authentic performances that are held on a regular basis. The town feels as if it is frozen in the aesthetics of the Victorian era, where the grandeur and wonder of the circus were not just entertainment, but the very heartbeat of life for the people of Baraboo, even to this day. Meanwhile, in southwestern Wisconsin stands the town of Dickeyville. Behind its warm haze lies a site that is visually stunning, yet conceptually unusual. It is the Dickeyville Grotto. Built between 1925 and 1930 by Father Matthias Wernerus, this site is a series of religious and patriotic shrines entirely covered in mosaics. The materials are also unusual: broken plates, stained glass, gemstones, seashells, and even pieces of jewelry donated by residents. As you can see, its visual beauty stands in sharp contrast to the surrounding area, which is an ordinary rural settlement. Dickeyville still preserves this site very well today, making it proof that the artistic dedication of an individual without a formal art education can transform the face of a small town into a center of international attention. In addition, let's look at this town. Woodruff is known to have one of the most unique monuments based on a touching historical fact. Here stands what is called the world's largest penny, a giant 1-cent coin weighing 8 tons. This monument was built in 1953 as a tribute to Dr. Kate Pelham Newcomb. So because it was difficult to raise funds to build a hospital in this remote area, local school children started a 1-cent coin collection campaign. They managed to gather more than 1.3 million coins. To this day, Woodruff preserves this monument not merely as a roadside oddity, but as a symbol that small steps taken collectively can truly bring major change to public health in the northern region. Moving to the outskirts of Marshfield, we will find a place called Jurassic Park. As the name jokingly suggests, this place is the work of an artist named Clyde Winia, who created a habitat for prehistoric creatures made from scrap metal and old farm equipment. What makes it unique is the narrative built around it. Clyde joked that these creatures once lived in the local swamps before going extinct. Marshfield itself is an important medical center in Wisconsin, and the presence of Jurassic Park provides the eccentric balance it needs. These sculptures have very intricate details, from dragons made from plow blades to dinosaurs with joints from tractor engines, creating a steampunk atmosphere in the middle of Wisconsin's wide open fields. Before we reach the final entry, there is one place where spirituality and underground mystery meet. That place is Rudolph. It may be small, but this town holds one of the most unexpected sights: Rudolph Grotto and Wonder Cave. Inspired by a spiritual vow made during a trip to Europe, this site features the Wonder Cave, a man-made tunnel stretching more than 60 meters. Inside are 26 religious dioramas lit by dim lights. Walking through it gives a feeling that is both claustrophobic and peaceful, an experience very different from the cornfields surrounding the town. Rudolph is now known as a close-knit community, where this unusual site has become the center of annual events that draw thousands of pilgrims and curious tourists each year. Next is Neillsville, home to Chatty Belle, the world's largest Holstein dairy cow statue, standing 5 meters tall and 6 meters long. Its strangeness is not just in its size, but in its ability to speak. Through a coin-operated audio system, Chatty Belle tells visitors about the greatness of Wisconsin's dairy industry. Neillsville itself takes great pride in its agricultural heritage, and Chatty Belle has been an icon since the 1964 World's Fair. Life there today still depends heavily on farming, and the presence of this giant talking cow serves as a fun yet strange reminder of their economic identity that has never faded. Finally, this list of strange towns would not be complete without Elmwood. The reason is, this town has officially proclaimed itself the UFO capital of the world. Unlike other towns that may have only one incident, Elmwood recorded dozens of strange flying object sightings over several decades, especially in the 1970s. The most memorable case involved police officer George Wheeler, who claimed he saw a disc-shaped craft over a hill before passing out. Today, Elmwood uses that strange reputation by holding a UFO Days festival every summer that draws many paranormal enthusiasts. Although reports of new sightings are now rare, the town's atmosphere remains alive with alien decorations on many street corners, making Elmwood a top destination for those seeking answers in the skies above Wisconsin. In the end, these 15 towns in Wisconsin teach us that a region's identity does not always have to be uniform or logical. These oddities, whether in the form of monster legends, architectural quirks, or remnants of a dark history, are the way these communities refuse to become ordinary. They embrace their eccentricity as a way to survive economically and culturally in the middle of modernization. Wisconsin remains a place where the impossible becomes an everyday sight, proving that the world always has unique corners for those willing to look for them.